plays Amy Wong. Ladies and gentlemen, Lauren Tom. Everyone's favorite bureaucrat, Hermes Conrad, LaMarr. And the two-time Emmy Award winner for Best Voiceover, Mr. Maurice LaMarche! People on the balcony, it's pretty cool, huh?
I'm in London.
Yes.
It is awful. Jimmy Rollins repeatedly in the back of the fighter's kids. Well, I guess we should just get started with the Q&A.
Yeah, so I've got a mic over here. This other man over here in the left has a mic. If you have a question, please come line up over here. We're going to be doing one question at a time from everybody. So that we can try to get as many people with questions as possible. Please, come on line up right now.
I guess we'll start over here.
Hey guys, it's Nikki Lee.
Hey, yes. How are you?
Yeah, alright.
Glasgow.
Yeah, that's right. So I wanted to ask you guys as a whole, because I love the idea of the DVD, but I wanted to be a voice actor since like I found out that there were humans doing Disney princesses. So, but I never did it, and a couple years ago I decided to actually give it a try, and you know, I've taken some theater courses and some voice acting courses and done a few amateur things like fan dubs, stuff like that. But what I'm wondering is, I'm moving back to the States soon, and I want to actually give it a go. What's like the first step to do to make that transition from amateur voice acting hobbyist to actually like do I invest in trying to get an agent or you know a professional?
You already have a good start. Yeah. You have a good start. You did the right thing, taking some classes and that sort of stuff. Yeah. And the most important thing to be a voice actor is to be an actor, first and foremost.
Seconds have a voice.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's a big deal, actually. You can't really, yeah. Not my mind,
There are
cartoons.
lines in voice acting. That's what I love.
You know, there's, I Google, you know, voice demos. And try to find someone in your area that will record you. Try and record a 60 to 90 second voice demo showing what kind of different things you can do, show your range, you know, and not, yeah, I mean, no more than 90 seconds.
I'll add to that.
Yeah.
You need to get with a good voice demo producer. If
Yeah.
you want to compete in Los Angeles, make your demo in Los Angeles. But like as John and Phil have both said, they're along with Jrrr, be a good actor first. So study improv, study, you know, sketch comedy, take a dramatic acting class. I mean, just a regular scene study class. Become a good actor, and then when it's time, and save your pennies, because you're going to probably spend nigh on $1,000 for your demo. But get with somebody really good like Bill Holmes, Mark Brow in Los Angeles. People that do kill it, Chuck Duran. They do great demos that get heard. And they really, I know especially Bill Holmes has a method of really loosening you up and getting your most natural sound out of it, because that's what they're buying. They're buying an honest talk to, you know, the audience. If you're doing spokes voice work, that type of thing. Gone is the announcer leader, and it's now more just about talking honestly to one person.
Oh, I have one more suggestion too. D. Bradley Baker, who you saw in John's
Yes,
film.
who steals my movie. Thank you, Dave.
He has a website. So if you Google him, D. Bradley Baker, D-E-E, he has a detailed list of things that you can do if you want to get started in voice acting, and it's a very wonderful, generous thing that he did.
Yeah, actually, I was going to suggest that. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
I want to be a voiceactor.com.
And also, this is the other thing. We can tell you all the pointers that you can take, but it's your journey. It's It's what you're doing. So it could completely be different from what we say, you know. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, I don't know any two voice actors who have the same path into voice acting.
There's no guaranteed way. If there was, somebody would actually write the book, and it would always work, and then the word would spread, and that the author would become a millionaire. But I'll tell you one thing that you've got going for you also is, you know, they will very often say authentic in whatever the dialect is. Now, you're already a Scotsman. So there's work for you. You know, you can do accent elimination if you want, but don't eliminate your accent completely, because when it comes time, they're going to want somebody who actually is Scottish for a part in something. And you know, so that will sure use yourself. Use yourself first, and then build from that.
Yeah, that goes to the same for everybody here from Atlanta. If you got a great Southern voice, then use that. You know, use your guy. All right, Alabama, take it easy. Bulldog country, son.
These are sports you're talking about.
Yeah, yes. Yes.
Sorry, nude.
You said we should have a large sack with manure in it.
Next question will be over here.
Through the weekend, what have been some costumes that have been your favorite from shows that you have particularly been a part of or worked with?
Would you please restate the question? Get a little closer in on the mic.
Over the weekend, through walking around and seeing all the costumes, what have been some favorites from shows that you have particularly worked on?
I just saw Steampunk Bender, which was really, really cool. I had to get a picture with them and tweet that, so that was really awesome.
I love.
I saw the best Spock I've ever seen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
7-foot spot. Oh yeah.
And we've got a couple of alternate universes. Zoidberg.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's very cool. So there's a Chewbacca walking around too.
Oh, that dude I saw.
Not LaMarche on our show, but it's from the genre. So yeah, this is a really great costume.
I saw an Adam Hughes Catwoman that, like, she got the voice too, and like it literally like gave me goosebumps.
I also saw, what's the girl, in The Fifth Element?
Oh,
Yeah, Mila Jovovich.
Mila Jovovich.
The character is Lilu.
Lilu. That's the most daring costume.
Let me tell you something.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I want to make that go crazy. I'll give you a monkey pass. You don't pass.
Awesome.
That's basically that's an ace man.
It was less than an ace band. It was awesome. Thank you, Okay,
Any other questions?
next question. Yes. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
That was my question. No, I'm just kidding. I'm a voiceover actor myself, and I was basically wanting to know, once you've taken that step and you've gotten that agent and you've gotten your voiceover demo reel, I kind of want to know what your personal journeys were like as far as marketing yourself and promoting yourself. I mean, because a lot of it is I don't necessarily want to, sit at home and wait for auditions to come to me. What were your personal journeys like once you got that demo and you got your agent? What kind of launched into your careers now?
Everybody's is different. I know Lauren and I weren't you doing more on camera and stuff before you started doing voice acting?
Yeah.
So we came at it from that angle. John, were you doing how much on camera?
I was doing voiceover in New York before I got to Los Angeles, but it was all advertisements for radio and television. But I was doing stand-up. I had a stand-up act, and Maurice has a background in stand-up comedy. He was one of the original young comedians on the Rodney Dangerfield HBO special. when I moved to Los Angeles, there was a lot less advertisements and a lot more animation. And it was a nice fit. It was a really good fit. So that's why.
Worked out well for you?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right?
Yeah, it worked out pretty good, boss. Yeah, pretty good.
Here's a little something for your trouble. That's funny. Thanks so much. That's money. It's money, something. It's money. You want I should give it to Clarence?
Once you start to book work, word gets around that you're capable.
Yeah.
Because once somebody finds out you've done the job, then it's just like, okay, he got in the room, and not only that, he or she, nailed it. Pass that word around. This person is good to work with. Yeah. So you don't really have to, advertise yourself to the fans first. You have to advertise yourself to your agent and to the casting agents.
Yeah. Marketing for me has never been about marketing. I mean, I've never had an awareness of that particular, the mechanics of that. My story is very much, one of doing this over here, stand-up comedy, and having an agent come up and go, with all the voices you do, you could probably do voiceover work, and be going, well, I heard it was a closed door, that's why I didn't try. But all right, if you want to send me on an audition, it's great. And I literally got pulled into the world of voiceover over a period of time. The best marketing I've ever done is just to show up and do good work. Show up, give them a dime for their nickel, just be the best I can be. Be better than I was yesterday, and help out.
Yeah.
Word gets out that you're reliable. Word gets out that you do the work, and it gets out real quick. And I'll be very honest with you. If you screw up, back in the '80s, I had a drinking and drug problem, and word got out on me real fast, and I was fired off of 4 shows in the same week. So word spreads like wildfire if you're good, and word spreads like wildfire when you're not so good. And luckily, that was the wake-up call I needed, and I got clean and sober on January 20th, 1989.
And now I do all his drinking for him.
And it came back. I'm one of the lucky ones where it came back, but I had to work extra hard and show them that that I'm there, I'm reliable, and over time it's worked out. I'm very lucky. That's my marketing.
And the 2 Emmys are proof positive of that.
Everybody on this cast is very good. I don't know why I'm running, but I truly have those Emmys on behalf of the cast, because we are a family on this show. And it was just a lovely thing, but I gave credit to my castmates both times, because everybody's Emmy-worthy on this show, right?
Yeah! There's no something for each other.
There's some money. There's something for you. It's Miami.
All right. Hi. So I just want to say I was very lucky to see you guys Friday morning. It was excellent. Woo! That was a very good Tracy Morgan that you've done now twice, John. It was a very good Stephanie Allen that you've done now twice, Maurice. You both have a very wide vocal range, and I wanted to know if there were any other characters or celebrities that you find you don't do very often at panels that you could pull out?
I don't really get asked to do the whole thing. You can't. With your outfits.
I don't get asked to do my Charles Nelson Riley. The other 60s gay man.
You people.
Oh, can you do your Alan Alda?
Easily, Greg. Leave some for the enemies to kill. That was one of those voices, I just pulled it out. I said, IHOC, and I'm like, no. I got to do Alan Alda. Now, luckily, I'd always done Howard Stern, who I always thought was, Howard Stern is, all right, Rob, what else is in the news? So it's that same pullback. So I just kind of took it up into the tenor range and it became like, geez, leave something in it. But it was like, I'd been a MASH fan. I find if you've got a voice that lives in your head from television, shows you love and admire, you can generally, I can generally, and I think most of us can generally channel them down. It's whoever's hot for you. You know, and like there was an example, I never tried to do Alabama before, but he was there. You know, he just came. And that's how, if you're studying voiceover, you'll discover the voices will find you. You won't even know you'll be able to do them, and you know, they'll just come out of you.
And another thing is, if you do a bad impression, sometimes that bad impression can be a voice all its own.
Yeah.
So you can do that. In the film, Hank Azaria talks about how that his Mo is kind of a bad Pacino. He's got another character, I can't remember the name of it, but it's kind of a bad Stallone. Lenny's a bad Stallone.
Hank Azaria is the richest shitty impressionist I've Those poor bastards took a pay cut to $230,000 to $400,000. Those poor Simpsons actors.
Yeah, the money they're getting, pennies compared to the money that show's making for Fox.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You got to do it.
See, that's the thing always fun. Like people talk about the numbers. The people on Friends are getting $1 million an episode when that show ended. Right. Roughly 15 years short of where the Simpsons are now. And they know Friends lunchboxes. They know Friends papers.
Well, to just do like the Toucan Sam character started out as with Paul Frees doing a kind of a bad Ronald Colman impression. He was too resonant. You know, the real Ronald Colman was, if I were king, what tributary nation would I bring to fold beneath your scepter? And yet his was, I don't know, it's always there. It's it was kind of an okay Ronald Colman became its own Toucan Sam. You know, so and then when he died. And they were looking for a replacement. I ended up with the part because I was the only guy not doing Ronald Colman, but doing my impression of Paul Frees doing Ronald. I've been Toucan Sam since 1987. I've now had the job longer than Paul Frees had. So it's a long time.
Follow that old way to the back. That's for real. Can't stand my cousin. That's right.
Yes, Superman.
It's DragonCon 2013.
Oh, nice.
America's greatest voice actors are here to present to us their favorite moments from Futurama.
Thank you for practice a lot in the background. A bit like coach, so you know. I met you guys though. Hi again. Hello. Bit insane, sorry. But yeah, what would be some of your favourite parts recording from actually Futurama? Since it's Futurama channel, I think it brings back to Futurama.
I mean, Denver was always a trip. I mean,
You do better? I knew that one. That's me right there.
You know, Randy's always great though. Listen, Dorothy.
Is Randy ever actually named?
Yeah, actually, he had the other. Hey, it's Randy. Hi, kid. What's funny about Randy was he was originally drawn as an old man. He was just man in the mob. And when they were like, Johnny, you need a man in the mob. I was like, okay, cool. Is there anything you want me to do? Like, no, not really. I was like, okay, well, in a mob, there's always some really angry, effeminate guy. This is bullshit! Excuse me! And so I just kind of ran with it. Everybody laughed about it. All of a sudden, it's just like,
Everybody except the guy in character design was like,
Drawing board. Gotta put a pink jacket on this guy.
But what's cool is that, he's like, he's out and proud in the year 3000, so, that's kind of cool. It's impressive on our parts.
My favorite one off was when you just shouted the first Zach Brannigan episode where he's like, You know,
Oh.
cameras, you know, the bottom will...
You suck!
I was doing that.
Yeah, Jrrr. She was
Yeah,
great as
because
Jrrr.
LaMarr
Yeah.
has the son Jrrr in a couple episodes ago.
That was fun. I like doing Bubblegum Tate.
Oh.
Because for me, it was always like, I was thinking about those old Boat Riders cartoons. You get like the athlete doing voice acting, which is always just like the flattest possible. Well, now listen here, Fonz. What I'm trying to do is help you with your problem. Something close to it.
And it's funny because I do Curly Joe, one of the other Globetrotters.
Yeah, he talks like this.
And now, you know, you look and it's just like, hey man, that's pushing it a little bit. But it's funny because that was my take on an old kung fu movie. Horrible dubbing. And one of the lead kung fu actors was black. And I remember this one line.
Lee Chan, hit him in the armpit.
It's like a pressure point thing. And I have to do that.
If somebody in 1972 thought that was a black voice, someone now will.
You know, but it's wrong.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right.
Are there any characters or personas that you've heard that you were, like, I guess we'd say professionally jealous of, just going, you know, man, I wish I came up with that character?
Bedroom. It's cool. I worked for Bedroom. I just did a total Reverend Jim.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
My shiny metal ass.
Well, we like all the ancillary characters, but the breakaway robot character just isn't working.
My favorite is Zoidberg.
Why not Zoidberg? Everybody does Zoidberg. Even Warren Tom does Zoidberg.
Well, the hard thing about Zoidberg isn't your accent or the voice, it's the meat that does the
It's the lips. All right, it's about Zoidberg.
That's true. We walk around doing Billy's voices.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Is that
What that? I can't even do that. Billy does this
The
weird.
sounds that Billy does with is what I
He does something with his hands.
Well, he's a radio guy.
Yeah.
So everything he does
He
doing
has
this,
to
so
do
he can
that.
hear himself properly.
Yeah.
Because if you do this, everybody do this.
Sheep.
I wasn't even being the brain when I commanded you.
And then talk. Really, he's like, listen to yourself on a tape recorder because your own head carries the bass response of your voice stronger than anything else. So when you hear yourself on playback on tape, how many people here hate their voice playback on tape? Because it sounds too high, doesn't it? Yeah. You sound gay, don't you? So, the way you really sound. That's why Billy does it. I think that's part of the reason. I mean, yes, it's an old radio trick, but he also is very aware of the sound of his own voice and he can manipulate it. Even more definitely than he might normally have. He's a genius. I first got to work, I worked with Billy on the very first thing he ever did was this thing in 1987 called The New Adventures of Beanie and Cecil. It ran 4 episodes ran on ABC.
And you're the only person who's seen it.
Billy West as Cecil, me as Dishonest John, Mark Hildreth from V and Resurrection as Beanie, and Jim McGeorge, the original Uncle Captain, as Uncle Captain. Written by Chuck Lorre, Right? And Eddie Gordetsky. So, I mean, the pedigree on this show, and animated by John Christopherson for the last 4 episodes. And all of a sudden, there's this little red-headed guy, and he was kind of chubby in those days, and I was very skinny. But I thought, well, I've got a brother, a guy who can do this. A guy who has so many voices inside of him. And in my opinion, surpassed him. He's amazing, and watching somebody from another planet with powers and abilities far beyond mortal man. That's Billy West.
We've watched Billy do 3 pages of dialogue by himself.
By himself.
Yeah, it's like hands-free. It's like riding on a roller coaster. Let's watch Billy do this!
Remember the first couple of episodes?
I was going to tell the same story. Oh no, I was going to tell about the scene in the first episode where the professor introduces Fry to Zoidberg. I remember watching Billy record that, on the fly. I mean, this was like the very beginning. Like, I had never seen anybody do 3 voices, all consecutively, talking to each other, not just
talking amongst himself.
And when you play that, when you watch that episode, there was no way you can tell it's the same human being. Yeah. Just can't.
But I remember, the first episode, I threw you a pillow and said, you're going to need this. Because Billy was so goddamn funny, and John was like,
I had to eat the pillow pretty much. I kept ruining takes. I thought I was going to get fired because I was laughing so much. Yeah, too funny.
Hello. Hi. With one of these long-running shows or any long-running show that you've ever done, does it ever make your schedule kind of hard? And have you ever missed any opportunities that you really wanted to do for a show that you're already in?
Well, I'm supposed to be the female lead in Sons of Anarchy, but...
No, you know what? The good thing about doing voiceover is you can actually work around some gigs, and we record in an ensemble, but after you've recorded with the ensemble, and if due to scheduling conflicts, you have to come in and record alone, you really have an idea of what's going on with your fellow actors before you record. So, it can always be moved around.
Yeah, that's the benefit of a long-running show, is that they know how we work together. And even though they like to be able to hear the whole script, once they're in recording mode, it's like, okay, if John's got to go out of town, we can all hear Bender in our heads enough that we're reading lines against, somebody, one of us reading in, somebody. We all have the feel.
Yeah.
So if somebody's got to miss something, and also the producers are, generous enough to accommodate for people's schedules. Like Katie, or if any of us have to miss for something, we know we're not going to rock the boat. Unless sometimes you get down to scheduling and something's about to air and they need a line.
Yeah.
Then it can be tough.
It's not the same as an on-camera sitcom where if you're on a show, you can't really be starring in a different show. But in animated, you could be starring in a few shows at the same time.
Is that right, John?
Oh yeah! I'm gonna take over the world, baby!
Hey, I've just got a request for John, if that's all right. I think Samuel Jackson did an amazing job with Go the F to Sleep, but I have an excerpt I would love to hear Bender say. It's on my phone, I have to bring it over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tracy Morgan reads Go the Fuck to Sleep.
All the kids from daycare are in dreamland. The froggy has made his last leap. Hell no, you can't go to the bathroom. You know where you can go? You can go to fuck to sleep. Shana Tova.
When you first get a script, did you ever like burst out laughing?
I flush it down the toilet. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Laughing because some of the lines is like really ridiculous.
I'm sorry, repeat the question, I'm so sorry.
The scripts make us laugh out loud when we get them.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I was sitting in my big comfy chair, the night before record, and break open the seal on the end of the Courier leaves with glee, going, I know I'm going to laugh reading this. This is true. The only other show I ever had that with was The Critic. Where, many of the same writers worked on Futurama worked on The Critic, 16 years ago. But yeah, laugh out loud on these scripts where you're just reading them all.
I think one of the funniest lines I've ever read and cracked me up really hard was in the last episode where Zoidberg gets a girlfriend, and he goes on his and he finally meets the girl that he's been video dating, and she's so repulsed by his smell, and she says, "Oh, it's like Comic-Con in a submarine."
And I think we all know what we're talking
The bomb lines especially get me. Oh, God. Jam a bastard in it, you crap! Just the deal.
Yeah. But yeah, there's always stuff that cracks us up.
Funny scripts. It's funny on the page. The typing is funny.
Hi. First, everything, what you all can do is so inspiring and fascinating to me. I'm really so impressed with how much range you have to create such vibrant characters. And what I'm curious about is, I always know with me, and when I go home from work, I can't always turn it off. And I was curious, can you turn it off? Or what's fascinating is,
You're not a cop, are you?
if I could do with you, I feel like I could do exacerbate an argument at home. And I'm just curious, you're fighting with someone and you break out Inventor. How do you stay mad at that? Or does it get
I'm no friend, don't play that shit. Keep that robot in your pants. Don't talk about it.
I don't know, I would probably take Futurama home, do that at home, or if I had Futurama writers at home, but it's really not the same. It's like, well, I could, you sweet, something of the other thing.
Playing around, sure, a little bit, but
Just get big. I turn on the Earl every time I can. Can you dig it? Oh,
And I turn on the as often as I
And we have the two phrases in my home where the only two phrases they ever say in Futurama and is the Chinese phrases when Inez is cursing or when he has to curse in Chinese. Now my children know those phrases.
What's your name? What's your cootie? I remember it too. We're all sitting around like, oh, awesome.
And now the Chinese children are leaving.
Sorry about this, but I'll teach you all now how to say those two phrases. One is "Jia which means I'm going to cut your head off. A lovely phrase that my parents always said that
All right, John and Phil especially, you guys have pretty deep voices.
Oh, I thought this was going to be a question about blackness.
I did say we got deep voices in. What do you guys do? What kind of exercises do you do to get in the higher registers?
Smoking and whiskey.
No.
Higher register in the higher register?
Yeah, like
get up early.
Like a pretty voice, like that kind of thing.
You know, you just try and warm up your voice and do, you know, try and get, you try and warm up your voice, do scales, you know, you try and just, you know, get it up there. You support, the most important thing you should do is support your voice with your diaphragm and with a lot of breath so that you can carry it. So, I mean, that's at least what I find. But usually I don't get cast to do higher voices.
That'll bring me into the kids a lot, you know what I mean?
One thing I would definitely say don't do is don't get a massage before a session. Remember when Warner Brothers was over in the Galleria and there was a spa near there? Yeah, Berkeley spa. And one day, I had an afternoon session, 2 o'clock session, and I thought, you know what? I'll go over early, take a little massage, be nice and relaxed, my job. Now what happens is, you know, you get a massage, you get really relaxed, and it's as if you have just woken up in the morning. And in the morning, your voice is, you know, it's the lowest. And particularly you don't have a higher range. So yeah, I got an hour massage. I'm like, oh good, I've got 15 minutes. And then I had to go do Chris Rock. And it was just like, it's the first time in my career I've ever felt flop sweat. You know, it's just like, I can't do it. Because, you know, you wake up in the morning, yo, this is all happening. At 8:30 a.m. The upper register is gone. It's why it's like the third day at a comic convention.
Yeah. You gotta be warm. You gotta be warm, you gotta be loose, you gotta be warm.
And with some age, some high end goes away.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
But I've lost my high end, but I was a cigar smoker for 20 years. I quit 6 years ago, but I've paid for it. I don't have much high end left.
You don't need it, you're a Lexus guy.
Yeah, but
You're a Lexus guy, huh? Lexus.
Good, bro, good. The heartbeat of an exhilarated driver.
Every time I see a Lexus out, I'm like, that's my man Vulcan. He's my uncle.
2015 Lexus GS. There's no going back. My end is gone, so I'm going to say, and I know some people are going to voice over. If you smoke, quit. Quit now. Because if you want your full range, just get cigarettes how you like. That's it. That's all I got to say.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
John, I love you guys take the dog on Adventure Time.
Thanks.
But my question is, what is one of your favorite episodes or movie for each one of you? Futurama.
Favorite episodes? God, I mean, I cannot watch Luck of the Irish One.
That's one of my favorites too. Yeah, Jurassic Park is a killer.
I just watched the Hollerin episode the other day.
Devils, yeah.
No, the first one, where the fry with the worms.
Parasite's Lost.
That was great.
Parasite's Lost.
Yes, Parasite's Lost. Yes. Thanks, nerd. Anyway.
And Rob's love it as well.
Yes. Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
The Reconcilable and Indifference is a personal thing. Yeah, so, you know, I mean, one I'm prominent in, one I'm hardly in. But those are, in fact, I don't even think I'm in Lucky the Friars. And, but I mean, I love it. It's just, wow. I get tearing up just thinking about it. Yeah. Somebody else talk.
I love all the three-part episodes where there are three separate episodes, like the interest. Yes. The one recently with Bendy Boo. Where are you?
Right.
Yeah. Where are you?
It's strange because those don't get well reviewed by the reviewers. No, IGN never seems to like those anthologies where we step out of the Futurama reality. They don't like it. I love those episodes.
Yeah, I love those episodes.
The Flesh one, where they're in black and white, they're doing the Flesh one.
That's a great one. Those are
I
awesome.
tend to like all the ones where I seem to hook up with all the different characters. So it's like, put your head on my shoulder, with Pride, and then one with Bender.
Oh yeah, that's right. Come on, baby.
Proposition.
And then the one with
Nerd
Kip.
comes up with it again.
Yes.
Before we break up, and then I fall for the bad boy, and then we get back together.
You commit a little homosexuality there, though, baby. Oh yeah.
Like you were waiting for the Amy Hermes episode. The only one I
I'm waiting for the Amy Vila episode.
That was in the third movie. That was in the third movie when they're at White Castle.
White Castle.
White
Whatever it's
Castle.
called, yeah.
Yes.
But they
Everybody
make
loves
out
White
and
Castle.
they make out, and Bender and the professor are like, should we leave or no? We'll sit and watch this for a second. Then
You're right.
but they do make out in that movie.
I love how she just
Took over the room right here.
My mother was a theater major, so I can project my voice. So.
Awesome.
I'm just wondering, for each of you, is there any regional or national accent that you particularly enjoy or really hate having to do?
Philadelphia is really difficult. Philadelphia is really specific.
Oh, yeah.
Philadelphia is really hard, and I can't do Philadelphia.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh,
The Pitt one, the Pitt accent, almost Chicagoan, but it's got some of its own unique, sort of diphthongs.
Well, the Philadelphia accent, I mean, that's the one, that I find is so, it reminds me of the Boston, to me, Philadelphia is to men, like, it's an accent that if a man has it, he sounds like a woman. Yeah, we're all going to the
We're getting a kid.
And Boston is the opposite. Like, if a woman has it, she sounds like
Dude, I swear to God, go down to the packy there and get me a 6-pack of Budweiser. Go get your mother a pack of Virginia Slim 100s menthol.
You cannot be feminine with a Boston accent. You cannot be masculine with a Philly.
And we'll be back here with a pitcher of gin and tonics waiting for you. Because we're going to do laundry.
What drives me nuts is when people do, being Canadian, when people try to do Canadian. Because we do not say oot. We don't say that, we say oot. I'm going to open a boat, eh? Oh, and then I'm going to go on a boat. First I'm going to open a boat on the town, and then I'll open a boat. So there's that, and we don't say A at the end of everything.
Canadians are confusing.
And then my favorite one to do, and Rob Paulson's very good at it as well, because he's a hockey player, so he interacts with a lot of French Canadians. The French Canadian accent is very specific, and very often when you'll see French Canadian characters, they're doing a Parisian accent. But the French Canadian accent, first of all, the first thing you do is put a H on the beginning of any letter that starts with a vowel. And then if it starts with a H, you then take that away from there and put another the Canadians on the side of your mouth like this.
You must have to do like pretty much every Asian accent.
Yeah, basically the Chinese and Japanese. The Japanese can say R's but not L's, and the Chinese can say L's but not R's.
come in.
And then for the G with Japanese, I love, like the word spinning would be spinning. It's not hard for you.
Spinning-a-roo!
And I'm I love the Chicago because they have the flat A, you know, like candy and ants and like that. That's always fun.
You got like, how many minutes we have left?
All of them.
We only have time for one more question, unfortunately.
You better make it good. Pressure's on, honey.
It's going to be a sad one too. So collectively, after working on the show for so long, how do you guys feel now that Futurama is finally over?
What a relief.
I'm so sick of it. Oh my God.
It's, you know, for me, I'll tell you, it's been one of the best experiences of my life. Please cue the music. And so, seriously, it's been.
The class of 2013.
Seriously, it's been one of the greatest professional and personal experiences of my life. I'm sad to see it go. But Matt Groening has more money than God, so I'm not worried about if it comes back or if it doesn't come back. Because
Matt Groening is taken care of.
But we still have you. So the show won't die.
Yeah, as long as you remember us, the show will be there.
Who are you?
Remember me!
I assume everybody in this room is going to be watching on Wednesday night for the final episode. If you can hook up to the Comedy Central website a half hour before, the podcast, Chris Hardwick, the Nerdist, is going to be interviewing, I think, the entire cast, and Matt and David, and then watch the episode and come back to the Comedy Central video podcast, and we'll be, asking wrap-up questions and watching us all basically pick the method of suicide that will be. But watch that. I especially want you to watch. You know the Futurama opening when the Starburst first happens and then the ship goes over. I'm not going to tip it off. Really watch. There's always something funny that they super up there. Watch. Don't miss the opening on Wednesday night. Okay, that's all I'm going to say.
Come see us at our table. Say hi.
Yeah, we're over at the Walk of Fame.
There will be a Simpsons episode where the Futurama cast, less one.
Oh my God! Don't even.
Only one person is not going to be in.
Can you believe they didn't write Amy into it?
But there will be one more Futurama story at least out there for you guys to enjoy at the end of next season or the beginning of the following season of The Simpsons. So we aren't completely gone yet. Spirit.
And please follow us on Twitter. I'm at DiMaggio.
I'm at Maurice LaMarche.
At